Today we're gonna be making a delicious vegan oil-free pesto with this beautiful green basil. And I've got a couple of secret hacks to make it so that it's nice and smooth and creamy and you won't even miss the oil. So let's go. If you're planning to use this pesto recipe to go with pasta, it does make enough to cover a whole pound of cooked pasta. So you'll want to just make sure that you get your water boiling before you start on the actual pesto, so that way they're done at the same time. Okay, our first secret hack is going to be to use some ground flaxseed. This is going to give it a little bit of extra fat without adding any oil. So we do 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed, and then we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of water. And in the vegan community, this is also what's known as a flax egg, because you can use this in other recipes where you need a binding ingredient. So instead of using egg, you can just use ground flaxseed with water. Just mix it up, set it aside. The next step is going to be to toast 3/4 cups of your choice of nuts or seeds. Typically, I like to use pecans, but I didn't have that many, so I'm gonna use a combination of pecans and walnuts. And altogether, this is 3/4 cup. If you are allergic to nuts, you can also use pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds. I'm sure those would be great as well. You just want to toast them on a dry skillet for about 2 to 3 minutes until they start to smell a little bit toasty and get just a little bit brown on the edges. Don't leave them unattended though, because these can burn fairly quickly. Okay, the nuts smell nice and toasty now, so I'm gonna turn off the heat and set these aside on a plate to cool off slightly. Okay, the next step is going to be for us to blitz these nuts or seeds, whatever you're using. You can do this in a food processor or in a blender. And you just want to get it to the consistency, kind of like consistency of sand. Okay, so we're gonna blitz that up, blitz that up. Okay. So this is basically what we are looking for in terms of texture. Doesn't have to be super fine, but this is just going to help make our pesto nice and smooth, because I've tried it before where I just throw everything whole into the blender at once and it takes forever to get a nice smooth consistency. So by pre-blitzing your pecans or walnuts or seeds, you are helping the blender so that way your end result will be nice and smooth. Now we're gonna start adding everything for our pesto recipe into the blender. We're gonna start by putting in our flax egg mixture. You can see that now it's a lot thicker, almost gelatinous. And that's, again, gonna have some healthy fats that we're gonna use instead of using oil for this recipe. So we're gonna add that in. And now we just want to add enough water to the blender so that it gets to the 1/2 cup line, right around, ooh, let me see, right around there. Yeah, we're slightly over the 1/2 cup line, but that's okay. And we'll just have some more water handy just in case. Next, we want to roughly chop 2 cloves of garlic. If you have a very powerful food processor, you could probably just skip this step, but I don't like finding big chunks of garlic in my pesto. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to pre-mince this, and it's just gonna help our blender to make this pesto nice and smooth. We're gonna add our garlic into the blender. Whoops. Okay, and next we wanna add our acidic piece. Normally I would use a lemon for this, but I just had lime, which will work just fine for this recipe. It will give it a slightly different flavor from your typical pesto. And since lime is a little bit stronger, I'm gonna just start with half a lime, and then if I find that it needs more acidity, I will add the other half. But typically, if you were gonna use a yellow lemon, you would just use the juice from the whole lemon. Now to season it, we are going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. There's half and 3/4, okay? And then the other key piece is gonna be some nutritional yeast. This is, like I mentioned in my easy vegan Parmesan video, a nice ingredient to have in any vegan pantry. So we're gonna hit it with 2 tablespoons, and this is gonna help give it a little hint of a cheesy flavor. Okay, now I have pre-rinsed about 1 cup of basil leaves, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna give them a quick little rough chop. So you can see that our mixture is nice and liquidy now, which is great. That's gonna help us achieve a smooth texture. Now we can add those blitzed pecans and walnuts into the mix. And this is gonna give it that nice pesto texture. And again, add some more healthy fats and fibers to our oil-free pesto. Okay, look at this texture. It is nice and thick. You would never expect this to be oil-free. So now that it's still in the blender, you want to give it a little taste. So if you're using pasta, you can go ahead and just dip a little piece in there. Here we go. Wow, it actually came out perfect. Can't even tell that it's lime that I used. Actually, you can tell a little bit, but I like it. So it's good that I just used the half lime. Again, if you're going with a lemon, you could maybe start with half a lemon too, and if you want it a little more acidic, then you can add the rest of the lemon. If you ended up going overboard on the lemon and you find that it's slightly sour, you can always add a couple pinches of sugar to this and blend it again. And if you want extra nutty, cheesy flavor, you can add extra nutritional yeast. Obviously add more salt if you want, but literally this came out perfect today. Now our pasta is cooked and it has been drained already. We're gonna add this to a nice large mixing bowl. Oh my God. Yeah, if you leave it sitting, that will happen. All the starches will just make it coagulate, but that's okay, just break it up. It's still steamy at the bottom. It's going to slightly cook our pesto, which is fine. So now we're just going to pour our beautiful basil oil-free pesto over this pasta. Once you have all the pesto in the bowl, you're going to just mix it all up. And this is helpful if you've got 2 spoons, just like you're tossing a salad. Now all that's left is to plate up our beautiful pesto pasta. I suggest adding a little bit of vegan Parmesan cheese on top. And there is a super easy recipe on my channel for this. I will link it in the description and in the cards. Okay, a little Parmesan. If you like, you can hit it with a little bit of ground black pepper. And for garnish, you can add some fresh chopped little baby tomatoes. And of course, some fresh basil as well. Okay, looking good. Now let's give it a little taste. Let's take a bite. Bon appetito. Yeah, that is good stuff. The perfect summertime pasta recipe. I like it with that little hint of the black pepper and the vegan parm. If you are looking for a vegan potluck dish that everybody's gonna love, I definitely suggest making it with this oil-free pesto. Did you like this recipe? If so, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up and comment below. Do you want to see more oil-free recipes on the channel? Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I put out new videos every Sunday. Bag's upside down.
I'm recording.
Okay. Should I start? Vegan oil-free pesto pasta.